Hi everyone, my name is Gina. I'm a librarian at the Spokane Public Library, and today I'm here to teach you how to tidy your bedroom with the KonMari method. But why should we tidy? We should tidy because we've been stuck at home, some of us for several weeks, and now it looks like it's going to be a lot longer. So while we're home, let's make sure our home is nice and clean and tidy, and that it's all sanitized and healthy. So what is the KonMari method? The KonMari method comes from the books The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up and The Life-Changing Manga of Tidying Up. There is also a Netflix series by the same name, and all of these have been created by the woman Marie Kondo. And KonMari is just sort of a little nickname that's used to refer to her. There are six steps in the KonMari method, and they are visualize your lifestyle, clothes, books, paper, kimono, and sentimental items. I will go through each of these with you. The very first step in this method is visualizing your lifestyle. This is the most important step. Marie Kondo says so as well. It's important to sit down and take some time to think about what you want your bedroom to look like and how you want your lifestyle to be. What kind of things will contribute to that lifestyle and what kind of goals or steps do you want to take to get there? This is going to take some time. This isn't something that you come up with in just a few minutes. I recommend that you take at least a day to just kind of sit with your thoughts on this one, decide what it is you truly want, how you want your room to look, and how you want it to function in the future. The first step is going to be starting with your clothing. So, very first thing you need to do is just collect it all. So go through all your drawers, your cabinets, your dresser, everything, and pull everything out, put it in one giant heaping pile. I want to see all of it, and that's really the point. So get your belts, your shorts, your pants, your ties, your everything, scarves, everything, put it in a pile. And then we'll just look at all of it and see how much there really is. And I bet you will be very surprised by how big the pile is. We're doing this to get rid of that myth that we kind of tell ourselves that we don't have enough things. The truth is we really have plenty of things, and that the useful things, the things we like, the things that we really use on a daily basis are hidden around all of that extra clutter and junk that we just seem to accumulate over the years. So we're going to take each item and we're going to spend time with each individual item and decide, do I want to keep this or do I want to let it go? Does this item bring me joy or is it just making me unhappy? So we'll go through each item, decide what we want and what we're going to discard or donate. Next, we're going to do the same exact thing with our books. We're going to take all of our books from our desk, from cupboards, from under the bed, everywhere, and put it in one big pile. And then we're going to go through each item and decide, is this a book I want to keep? Is this a book that I love and want to hold on to forever? Or is this a book that I've been planning to read and just have never gotten around to it? So once you make those decisions, make a pile of the ones you want to keep and the ones you want to discard and the ones you want to donate. Next, let's go through all of our paper. Paper is one of those things that just seems to accumulate over time, and it just piles up and gets in the way of the documents or the assignments that you want to keep from the past. Anything that's important to you, it just clutters it all up and you can't really find it. Or sometimes you forget what you have because it's just lost in the mess of all the paper. So let's go through each item. Look at each piece of paper and decide, is this something I want to keep or is it garbage? I think you'll find that most of it is trash. So go through it and sort it all out, and then we'll move on to step number 5, which is step kimono. Now, kimono just means all those miscellaneous items that don't fit into the previous categories. So let's collect all of those items in your bedroom and put them in one big giant heap too, and go through them the same way. Picking up each item, spending a moment with each, and deciding, is this something I want to keep or is this something that I want to let go of? Finally, we've made it to the last step, and this is all of our sentimental items. So sentimental items are important to save for last because they're probably the most emotional and they're probably going to be the hardest to decide whether to keep or to toss. So we save this to the end so that we have at this point gained some experience and some practice in getting rid of or deciding to keep different items. In any of the previous steps, whether it's clothing or books or paper, It's okay to set something aside and realize this holds some sentimental value to me, and I'm going to save it for last. You might not be ready to deal with parting with maybe a Letterman's jacket or a book that you read in your childhood that means a lot to you. That's okay. Don't sort them in those categories. Set them aside and leave them for last in the sentimental items. And then we'll go through each one the same way and decide to go through them and decide where they belong. Now, it's important to take your time with this step, and maybe if it's getting to be too much, wait and finish this step the next day. There's no reason to hurry. We don't want to accidentally get rid of something that really matters and is important in our lives. So take your time and be really careful with this step. Okay, that is all the steps, but before we finish this video, I want to talk about things that you should always be keeping in mind through this whole process. First, pay attention to the items that give you joy. Be sure to keep those things that make you happy, and make sure you get rid of those items that are kind of holding you back or make you feel sad or that just make you think, oh, this is a horrible color on me. This shirt doesn't fit. I didn't like this book. Those kinds of things. Get rid of those ones and keep the ones that make you happy. And also make sure that when you're going through your items, focus on keeping the things that you want to keep. Keep the ones that give you joy. Focus on that instead of what I'm getting rid of. This exercise is not about getting rid of things. It's about focusing on the things that are important to you. Next, thank all the items that you're going to discard. They came into your life and they did serve some sort of purpose, even if that purpose was just to let you know that this is something that, isn't for you, that maybe is for somebody else, but it's not really your style. So thank every item before you get rid of it. Finally, as I've mentioned before, make sure you take time with these steps. This is not a method that's meant to happen and take place all in one day. This should probably take you at least a week. Take your time with each and every step so that you don't move too quickly through it and get rid of something valuable or something important. Really, the focus of this exercise is to make intentional choices based on joy. Now that everything is tidy, the surfaces are cleaned off, there's room to move around, let's go through and wipe down everything with cleansing wipes, get everything sanitized so you can live in a clean and healthy room. So this webinar is part of the Spokane Public Library Spring Reading Challenge. What that means is that it has a secret code at the very end, which I will share with you now. This secret code is joy. So what this means is that when you enter our Spring Reading Challenge, which has a whole bunch of different challenges, some of them are reading related, some have to do with education, some are just fun activities, you get points for everything you finish, and you get extra points for having watched this webinar. So go ahead and enter this secret code because you clearly finished the video and you'll get some extra points. And now please enjoy your clean and tidy space, and thank you so much for spending this time with me.